Good morning, traders, and welcome to Trading Waves weekly market analysis. All right, so this is our first weekly market analysis of 2023. We would like to welcome you guys, and we're looking forward to serve you the whole of this year as we have been doing in the past few years. Right, so guys, before I move forward, just a few announcements. Our next course will be starting in on the 6th of February. So if you wish to purchase our courses, you can just go on our website, visit us on tradingwaves-.com, and then you can purchase our course there. We always recommend that people purchasing our website, or those that are interested in our course, to purchase the course before we start. So that gives you an advantage, because immediately you purchase it, then you get access to our pre-recorded courses that will give you where you'll be able to go through that course. And then if you've got any question, then during the live course, that's when you get those questions being answered. So you get to spend like 10 days with Victor and also with one of our chart analysts when we're doing that course. All right, so for more of our contact details, you can visit us on our YouTube page, which is the ELLIOTTWAVE Trading Wave. That is our YouTube page there. On the weekly videos, the one that we release on the weekly, that's where you can find our contact details. Below that, you can see that we've got our email address there, our WhatsApp, and also Telegram numbers, the channel, our Telegram channel that you can go through, our website, and also our social media pages. That's where you can follow us to see more of our work. Right, so let's get started with the market analysis, and we'll also be covering the cryptocurrencies. I'm sure that most of the people, they're asking themselves, is Bitcoin has bottom, or we yet to still see another low? At the end of the video, please see the cryptocurrency update. Right, so let's get started. We'll be looking at the DXY as usual. Right, so we're going to be covering some few instruments that are interesting, obviously. So the DXY, we have been looking at this one, that it should give us a move to the upside here, but just an overview here on the 4-hourly time frame. Now, this looks like it has been trading lower in a 5-wave move to the downside here. So we are very likely that we will be correcting this cycle from the January low. So we are looking at this one to be a 5-wave move to the downside. Sorry about that. So we are looking at this here to be a 5-wave move to the downside. Here that has completed a 5-wave move, so we're going to be expecting a 3-wave bounce higher, and then we're going to be expecting that this should resume lower. So in overall, we are looking at this here to be a possible ABC corrective structure here, and then once this is done here, we should be seeing the US dollar to be resuming with that bullish move to the upside. But for now, expect to see this 3-wave pullback. Obviously, we do not recommend that you go and immediately buy this here. You need to see some confirmation around this level. Once you see that confirmation, then we'll be looking for this 3-wave bounce here before we can even resume lower. Obviously, the euro US dollar will be inversely correlated because of the negative correlation we have between these two instruments. So we're looking at the euro US dollar to have completed this 5-wave move to the upside here, and we are very likely that we will be giving us a 3-wave move pullback lower. This being a 5-wave move to the upside here, so a 3-wave pullback needs to be seen here on the euro US dollar. Very likely that we might be getting a structure like this here before we can continue with the bearish move to the downside. Remember that we have been in this very bearish move or the whole of last year on the euro, so we are very likely that we are correcting this cycle from around the January 2022. All right, so we're going to be looking at that through a pullback immediately. Then we're going to be looking for a resumption move to the upside on the dollar. Right, so obviously there is still that possibility this is a wave 4 here. Remember that we have been looking at this to be our wave 1, our wave 2, this being our wave 3 here. So it is still possible that this might have ended our wave 3 here, and this is going to be a wave 4 here. But we like because this is a big correction here, so we like to look at this here to have completed already the 5-wave move to our downside, this being our wave 1, our wave 2 here, our wave 3, our wave 4, this to be our wave 5, and looking at this here to be an ABC structure. So expect at least a 2-wave pullback for now, short term, that is going to be around 50% of this year before we can even talk about that bullish move to the upside on the euro. Right, as for the pound US dollar here, we've been looking at this one to have been bottomed last year, or this to be done with this cycle from these highs here. So we are looking at this year to be giving us a move to the up side. What is very likely that we're seeing around this area here is that this is going to be a three-wave move pullback here. So we could be having this one to be a three-wave move pullback here. Alternatively, this could be a five-wave move to the upside here, this being our wave 4. That's if we get this one to break this swing high here, then we're going to be having this as our wave 5 before we can expect a major pullback and then a move to the upside. But the idea right now is that this should be the three-wave move pullback here and then a drop lower. Obviously, 50% of this year, that's how far we expected this might trade lower before we can see a resumption move to the upside on the pound US dollar. So just zooming into around these levels here, what we have been looking for here, this to have been a five-wave move to the downside here. The five-wave move to the downside here, and then we've been looking at this here to be a three-wave move pullback, and the expectations that so we get something that is going to be related to this one before we can even talk about that possibility of a move to the up side. Right, as for US dollar chief, obviously with these two with the DXY, they've got a positive correlation here. If we are expecting that the DXY is going to give us a three-wave pullback, that will mean we should be expecting a three-wave pullback here on the US dollar chief. But before that, towards the end of last year, we have been looking at this year to have been a three-wave move lower here through a move up, and this to be coming down in an impulsively move, this being a 3-3-5 year. Now the expectation was for this move to the upside here, but because the DXY is expected to bounce up in a three-wave move, we are very likely that we're going to be bouncing up in a three-wave moves here as well on the US dollar chief before we can see a leg lower. That will mean we are very likely that from these lows here, this has just completed a five-wave move to the upside here. As much as it is not clear here, but we are very likely that this is a five-wave move that I'm referring to, yeah, this being our wave 1 here, our wave 2, our wave 3 here, this would have been a three-wave move down, our wave 4, and this would have been our wave 5. If that's the case, we are very likely that we're going to be correcting this cycle here, three-wave move pull back to the upside, one more leg lower here, obviously against this swing low here, then that's when we're going to see that resumption move to the upside on US dollar chief. But for now, a three-wave move pullback here should be an opportunity that we can still look for the bearish move to the downside. It's a big range, I must say here. If you do get this one here to be a three-wave pullback, you can still look to buy this here, but I'll always recommend that first of all, wait for a confirmation around this area here. Once you get this here, then this is going to be the leg that I'll be recommending that you can look for the short move to the upside. Obviously, trying to position ourselves if this says I'm done with this structure that we have been looking along, and then I'm ready for this move here. We just looking at this possibility of a three-wave bounce because of what is expected on that DXY. All right, so let's have a look at Audi US dollar here. The expectation is for this one to drop lower here, but then if you look into this is very likely that it has given us this three-wave move to the upside here on the Audi US dollar, and then we are yet to see another leg to the upside here. This being a three-wave move to the upside here, this being our connector here. So we are very likely that we're gonna see this one here bouncing or dropping low in a three-wave move, and then from there we should be expecting to see a move to the upside. That three-wave move lower here, this is going to be a move that is going to be related to this one structurally, this being our wave X here, our W here, our wave X, and then we get this one to be our wave Y. Then from there, that's when we're going to be expecting to see a bearish move to a downside. Now a three-wave move pull back here could be an opportunity that you can look for the buying opportunity, obviously against this swing low here. I wouldn't want to see this going beyond this swing low when it comes down in the three-wave move. I'm going to be expecting something like this here. Against this swing low, you get a three-wave pull back here. Obviously, you're going to have some confirmation. So we are using a special indicator that will tell us when these moves are ready to take place. But for now, we know that we are expecting to see this through a pullback before we can see a resumption move to the upside on the housing. Right, so as for New Zealand US dollar here, this has traded up. It appears to be an impulsively move to the upside here, being our wave 5. So we are very likely that we are yet to see this move to the upside. Yeah, something very interesting here for those guys that will be trading the pattern, they will tell you that they are looking at this year to be a possible head and shoulder pattern. But as for the Elliott wave traders, so this might be a pattern that you are seeing here, this being your shoulder here, our head here, shoulder here, that is building up, and then we get this move to the upside here. But guess what? We are looking at this here to be an impulsively move, a move to the downside here, possible three-wave move pullback that we are seeing here. So we might be getting something that is going to be related to this one in terms of length. Then from there, one more leg up that will be related to this move here, this being your wave A here, wave B here, and we'll be expecting that move to the upside, which is going to be our wave C. Then from there, that's when we're going to be expecting to see that bearish move to the downside on New Zealand US dollar. Just zooming into this here, you can see that this is almost exactly what we are seeing on a pound US dollar rather. This to have been a move to a downside here, three-wave move pull back to the upside. So a leg lower here, obviously against this swing high, then we should be looking for something that is going to be related to this one in length. Then from there, we can expect to see a resumption move to the up side. Right, as for US dollar CAD, the expectation is for this one that it should continue or make a move to the upside here. But then if you zoom into this and try to relate this to what is expected on the DXY, because of that positive correlation with the US dollar based pairs on the DXY, we've had this one dropping lower here. So far, we have been looking at this to have completed the three-wave move to the upside here, and looking at this one to be our leading diagonal here, this being our wave one, and then this to be a three-wave move pullback. Wave two, obviously against this swing low here. Now the expectation that we should be seeing this one making a move to the upside, but then the DXY is expected to make a three-wave move up here and a drop lower. So what we could be having in this one is building this structure, this being your W here. We get a leg to the upside being our wave X, as much as we've got this as a wave one, but this could be our wave A here, getting this one to be our wave B, then we get this one to be our wave C, forming this wave X. Then from there, we might be seeing something that is going to be related to this one, especially when we are getting this leg lower on a DXY. Then from there, that's when we might see US dollar CAD to be giving us a move to the up side. But for now, you can look for this here. Obviously, if you get a confirmation here, then you can look for this leg to the upside, but just be mindful when this comes to around the equal legs of this here, because it might bounce lower in a three-wave move, building this W here, wave X, this to be our wave Y, then the whole thing become your corrective structure before we see a resumption move to the up side. Right, so as for US dollar JPY, we have been looking at this one last year that it should trade lower here, but I want to show you something here. The expectation is for this one to drop lower. Now, this being with the positive correlation to the DXY, because it is a US dollar based pair there, so that will mean it is very likely that this might be giving us a correction somewhere around this area here, and then that correction, the big question would be, are we getting this one, or this is going to be a move that will trade all the way to the downside here, or it's just going to be a bounce in a three-wave move, meaning that from these lows here, this could be our wave one here. That is a possibility that this is our wave one from these lows here, and we are getting this one to be a three-wave pullback. If we do get that three-wave pullback, obviously against this swing low, then you're going to be expecting to see that bullish move to the up side. But obviously, this is a big move here, or this might even take a while. If you look at this swing high from this swing high, this took place from October. Now it is January, so this is about 4 months a year. This move to the downside. Now, if this is our wave a year, believe me, this might even take almost a whole year to be building this structure. That's if it's a three-wave move. This being a five-wave move here, we might get this one to be a three-wave move. And this corrective structure, if this was 4 months a year, this might even spend twice the time that it took a year. So that means we might even expect this to be building up a structure like this here, and that it might even take like 8 months before we see a leg lower. But you do not have to hold me for that here, but do expect that, especially if this is going to be an ABC, that it might even take a much longer time here. But short term, we have been looking at this year to be completing this five-wave move to the upside. Very likely that we still yet to see a leg lower here, this being our wave one, wave two. We have been looking at this year to be our wave three around this area here. So we might have gotten this one wrong here. Then wave four is this one here, and this is our wave five. Is the reason why we have been looking at this is because this looks so impulsive here, but we could be having this one to be completing the five-wave moves here, and then this is completing this wave one, or it can always be our wave A. So do expect that eventually this might be a three-wave pullback, and if that's the case, this being your wave B here or your wave two, then you're going to be expecting that this might trade as far as around the 50% of this whole move here to around this area here, and then from there, that's the only time we can expect to see that move to the upside. But now this is a big range to the upside here. So how do you trade this here? Please you might have to get a confirmation first before you jump into this here. You don't want to trade this here while it's still gonna give you this and make one more leg while you're still trying to buy this. Wait for this one, you complete this 5-wave move. Once you start to see an impulsively move, then you can start to look for that leg to the upside before we can make it that move lower. Like I've indicated, it might even take more time to be building this structure here. Right, so like I've said it, that I'm not going to be covering everything here. I'm just looking at the instrument that are very likely to give us some trade setup eventually or sooner. As for pound yen, the big question is here. We have been showing you this last year that it is very likely that this might have ended this 3-wave move here after this big impulsively move to the downside that we have looked at here. So we have been looking at the possibility of this one to be done here. If that's the case, be ready for the move that is going to be 1,000 of pips. So from around these here, these are about over 5,000 pips. So you're gonna be expecting that this might even trade lower above that 5,000 pip. Obviously, we're not gonna be trading this here. We're gonna be trading this wave at a time here. We're not just gonna take this one here and hold it all the way down, because this might drop here a couple of 2,000 pips, pull back 1,500 pips, and then most of the people, they won't be able to hold on to that when the market is putting them such number of pips. But other than that, pound yen looks like it has ended this move to the upside, and it would be nice if this can give us a confirmation by coming and trading as far as around these low swing lows here. Trade around this swing low through a pullback, then you can look for that bearish move to the downside. But like I've said it, obviously that's a big range there. But it's always nice to wait for that confirmation on a pound yen. All right, so this might have started as an impulsively move from the highs, this being wave 1 here, this to have been wave 2 here, this structure here, this being wave 2 here, and then this is already starting a move to a downside for a wave 3. Most of the time, you're gonna get that wave 5 to be terminating or to take this swing high here, this swing low rather. Then from there through a pullback to be seen, then we can look for the more bearish move to the down side. As for EURJPY, the expectation is for this one here. We have been calling that this should drop lower here. I want to show you something on a daily time frame here. There is that possibility that we could be having this one giving us an ending diagonal here. This being your wave A here, obviously around this here, wave B, and you could be having this as a wave 1, wave 2 here, wave 3, and we might see this one more leg up. If that does happen, then do expect that one more leg up on a pound yen before it drop. But then if this is not an ending diagonal here, we have to confirm by having the price to come and trade. If it traded around these swing lows here, then you have to disqualify that possibility of this one being an ending diagonal formation and expect that this is going to continue with that drop to the down side. Obviously, I'm showing you what is expected on the bigger time frames. Right, so let's jump into CAD yen, the one that I wanted to look at here. So CAD yen, we have been looking at this one, that it is done with this cycle to the upside here, and the expectation was for this one to drop. Just from looking at this here, you can tell that we are in the wave 3 here. Obviously, this is a daily time frame. Let me just go down on a 4-hourly time frame here. So we are looking at this one to be done with this swing high here. This to have been wave 1, wave 1 here, wave 2. The big question is, are we done with this here? Is this wave 4 here? Are we in the wave 5 here? If that's the case, you gotta be mindful with this one here. It has traded up down lower here, a couple of thousand of pips, so you gotta be careful. At some point, this might start to give us this through pullback before it can drop lower. But the expectation that we should be having this one continue with that bearish move to the down side. Right, so let's jump into the Euro pairs, Euro AUD. Right, so EURAUD, we have been looking at this one to have completed this 5-wave move to the upside here, and it has came up with some divergence formation on the higher time frames here. So now that could even be a signal that this is done here. So we have been looking at this in terms of a structure. This to have been a structure here, and this being a divergence formation here, you will see that we've got a nice divergence. You can refer that, you look at the other side. Now we are calling that this is done. This is starting a bearish move to the downside here. Now I always want to see this here first. Have an impulsively move, take out this swing low here, a three-way pullback, then against this here. That's when you can expect to see that continuation move to the downside on a EURUSD. But other than that, this looks ready here, especially against these swing highs here. Then you can start to look for those selling opportunities here. Three-way pullback around this area here. Obviously, you might get this one to be a three-way pullback here, but this might be a 1, 2, a 3 here. You get this to be a wave 4, have an impulsively move, check out this low, wave 5, then you get this pullback that will be committing the wave 1. Then from there, you can look for that wave 2 and expect to see a continuation move to the down side. As for Euro New Zealand, this is almost confirmed here that it is done. We had a 5-wave move to the downside here, and the expectation is for this one to be a 3-wave. You get this one to be a 3-wave moves here, obviously against this swing low. Then expect that this is going to give us a bearish move to the downside. The break of this here then will be invalidating that this was an impulsively move. But for now, expect this one to complete this 3-wave move, pull back here. Then from there, you can expect to see that bearish move to the down side. As for EUROCAD, this has been confirmed long time here in the group. I have been calling that this one's gonna make a big move to the upside from around these lows here. Now it looks like we are yet to complete the 5-wave move to the upside here. This to have been our wave 1. This being our wave 1 from these lows here is a diagonal, wave 2 here, we have wave 3. Now looks like we have completed our wave 4. Now the expectation is for this last leg to the upside. Yes, and you know, gotta be careful with this one. You don't want to buy this here around this level, because this might just give us a spike up here, and it might be time for a reversal, reversing the cycle from these lows here. So be mindful with that one. But other than that, if you see the 3-way pullback here, you're gonna be expecting that EURCAD should still continue with that bearish move, that bullish move to the up side. As for EUROCHF from the lows here, we have been calling that this was done. I think we have been showing you this on a weekly time frame, that this was giving us an 11 swing here. So this is exactly what we have been showing, that this is an 11 swing sequence. So if you've been able to see this this being a 3-wave move here, a 3-wave move, drop low in a 3-wave moves here, pull back in this 3-wave move, and this is traded lower in this 3-wave moves here. This being your W here, wave X, wave Y, wave X here. This to have completed wave Z here in 11 swing. Now this looks done here from these lows. We have been calling that this is already done, and the expectation is that we start to see this move to the upside here. So far, this is exactly what is happening. I should have shown you how this was forecasted here. Now the expectation is that we should be getting this one to be giving us a move to the upside. Very likely that we are building a nest here, 5-wave move to the upside, to pull back here. Our leading diagonal is our wave 1 here, this being our wave 2. So we believe that we should be completing this 5-wave move to the upside here first, this being your 1, 2, 3 here, 4 with 5. Then from there, to a pull back against this here could still be another opportunity that you can look for, that bullish move to the upside on the EUROCHF. Right, so as for Euro Pound, the expectation is for this one that it should continue with the bullish move to the upside here. So we have been looking at this from these lows, that it is yet to make a move to the upside. And so far, what we've got here is this to be very likely a 5-wave move to be completed here. And then from there, if you get this one to be a 3-wave pullback, expect to see more bullish move to the upside, especially against this swing low. But be mindful now, we don't want to buy around this area here. This might be completing a wave 5, and you might be getting a deeper correction here before we see a continuation to the up side on Euro Pound. Right, as for the pound pairs here, pound AUD, the expectation is for this one to make a drop here. But then if you look at this structurally, this is what is very likely to happen here. An impulsively move to the upside here from these lows, and this to be giving us this 3, 3, 5 yeah, so we could be having this one coming down impulsively, because so far that's what we've been having here, this being a 3, 3, 5, and we might be having this as a structure here. Then from there, I might be expecting a move that is going to be related to this one here. If it pulled back in a 3-wave move here, obviously you can look for the possibility of that one to be giving us a bearish move. But in terms of a structure right now, this looks like a complete structure, and we might be seeing that one to be giving us a move to the up side. As for pound New Zealand, obviously the two instruments are positively correlated, even though this does not have a clear study that's going to make a move to the upside here, but this already looks impulsive around this area here. 5-wave move to the upside here. Now it's a matter of whether these 5-wave moves, it's a standalone move here. If it is a standalone move, then watch out for this one here. 3-wave move to the downside here. this might still give us a three-wave move here. So this might be our W here, wave X as a connector, and we still get this one to be a three-wave move, this being your WXY. Then from there, getting a move that is going to be, that will mean we are getting this wave Y, or this WXY structure to be deeper here. But other than that, since I am expecting that this pound out is completing this structure here, when this starts to make a move to the upside, I'm gonna be expecting that this might even start to give us this move to the upside. And the reason behind that is because of that positive correlation. So this could be a three-wave move down here, this being our W wave X, and this could be just giving building the wave Y here. One more leg lower here, then this might start to give us that move to the upside. Those are both possibilities that we might see on pound New Zealand. As for pound chief, this is very likely that it is done with this structure here. The very same structure that we are seeing on a pound RE. So we've got this one to have made an impulsively move to the upside here. We are here looking at this here to be the structure here. Obviously, I wanted to see this taking this swing low here before we can see a move to the upside. Now, the big question is this done here, or we still yet to see a leg to the downside? It is still possible that we might still see this one here. Look at this here. It came down in a three-wave moves here, a three-wave move to the upside. So this might be building a three-wave move, especially after this bounce here. So this might still give us this one more leg lower, and then we see that move to the upside. But then if this continues with this impulsively move up here, take this high here through a pullback, then we can already start to look for that impulsively move up. But already in terms of a structure, this looks like it is done. It might just be a regular flat corrective structure, and then this is ready to make a move to the up side. If that's the case, three-way pullback against this swing low on the lower time frame, then you can look for that move to the upside on a pound chief. As for pound CAD, this looks very bullish here. If you look at this here, this has already reached at the equal legs, a move to the upside here, a three-wave move pullback. This has gone to the equal legs here. Now, the big question is where to from here? Are we getting this one to give us a three-wave pullback here, this being a W here, wave X, and expecting if this does happen here, then this will be a structure that you should be expect, or a move to the upside that is obviously going to be made up of a three-wave move, because they are going to be related to this W here. But right now, it's not clear here. I would love to see more data here, because this does not look like it is completed at all. I am expecting a three-way pullback here, a leg lower. Then from there, once the structure is clear, then we can look for that bullish move to the upside on a pound CAD. As for the cross pairs out in New Zealand, we have been showing you for quite some time now. We have been showing you why do we expect that out in New Zealand is going to drop lower in terms of the structure on a weekly time frame. 5-wave move to a downside that we saw here. This being a 5-wave move to a downside here, and a move to the upside, a 3-wave pullback here that has ended here, and we look at this here to be a move to the upside. In terms of a structure, we are looking at this here, and we're going to be expecting that this is going to be giving us a move that is going to be related to this. If this is the case, you will see that we are going very far here. So that will mean we should be looking for those selling opportunities. And I think on the 4-hourly time frame, this might have represented itself here. This will be a 3-wave move to the upside after completing these 5-wave moves here. So we have been looking at this 5-wave move to a downside here. This will be our wave 1 here. Obviously in a lower degree here, this being a 5-wave move to a downside, and we've looked at this to be a 3-wave pullback. Now the question is, are we ready to drop from here, or we still yet to see one more leg lower and then a move to a downside? But you can look out for this one here on a euro on an Audi New Zealand, but it looks like it has completed a 3-wave move, and we're going to be expecting that this will eventually give us a move to the downside here. Even if it does this, you still look for those move to the downside here. Move to the upside here, it can still be a 3-wave pullback here, a move up. Even if there's a case here, we're still going to be looking for this bearish move to a downside on Audi New Zealand. As for AUDCAD, the expectation is from this one for make a move to the upside from these swing lows here. Now this looks like it has made up a 5-wave move to the upside here. Now the big question is our wave 2 done here, or we still yet to see a leg to the downside? But very likely, as much as in terms of a structure, wanted to see this move here and then building up this structure here, but this might be done here, and this might have been a 5-wave move up. Wave 2, it looks so small, I must say, but it would be nice if we can get this to move to the downside. Then from there, you're gonna be be expecting to see that bullish move to the upside. But other than that, more bulls to be seen there on AUDCAD. Leading by New Zealand CAD, New Zealand CAD, nice bounce that we saw here last year. It has made this impulsively move in a 5-wave moves here. So a 3-wave move pull back. We are somewhere around this area here. Now it would be nice if you can get this one to at least give you that move to a downside, which is going to be related to this one here. If you do get the structure, then you're going to be looking for that bullish move to the upside on New Zealand CAD. So far, it appears to have been a 5-wave move to the downside here. This being a 5-wave move to the downside here, this being our wave A. Now the big question is, are we getting this one to come back, take this higher here? Then from there, we get a move that is going to be in a 5-wave move. If we get this here, then we can look for that big move to the upside on a New Zealand CAD. As for our chief, this looks done here. We have gotten a bounce here that is impulsively here. So now again, yeah, it's a matter of a question whether this bounce is it part of this flat corrective structure here. Are we going to get a leg lower, or this is just going to be a 3-wave pullback here against this swing low, and then we get this move to the upside here. Just to give you an idea here on the higher time frame, this looks like it is done here. Let me show you on the daily time frame. It looks good here. In terms of what I am looking at here, 3-wave move to the upside that we are seeing here. So this might be done here. 3-wave move to the upside here, a 3-wave move to a downside. So this might be ready to give us that move to the upside here. So a 3-wave pullback here against this swing low. That will mean you can start to look for those buying opportunities to the upside on AUDCHF. All right, so New Zealand CHF, obviously, we've got that positive correlation, but then in terms of a structure, this might still give us one more leg lower here before we can see a move to the upside there. Yeah, 5-wave move to the upside that we are seeing here. So a 3-wave pullback would be nicer here against this swing low that you can look for that buying opportunity to the upside. Zooming into this structure here, why do I expect to see one more leg lower? Is because we've got this one to have traded lower here in a 3-wave moves here, this being a 3-wave move to the upside here. So we're going to be expecting to see this one being a 3-wave move here, this being your W here, our wave X, this to be our wave Y. Obviously, if you take this here, then you might have to forget about this one giving you this leg. If it makes a move to the upside, 3-wave pullback against this swing low, then you can start to look for those buying opportunities to the upside on New Zealand CHF. Right, just for CADCHF, you saw how we traded this one last year. We have traded this one with the move from around these highs here. Obviously, we have been expecting that somewhere around these this will eventually start to give us a move to the upside. So that could be the case here with an AUDCHF. It might be a time for that move to the upside. In terms of a structure, what we've been looking at here is this to have been a 3-wave move to the downside, our connector here, and we've been looking for this 3-wave move. Obviously, this might have had an ABC, an extended C wave here, this being an ABC here, ABC here, that is building this W here, wave X, and then this being an A here, wave B, and then this being our wave C building this WXY collective structure. Now, the big question is it time for that big move to the upside? An impulsively move up here would be nice to be seen, and a 3-wave pullback, or alternatively, we could even be starting this one here with a leading diagonal that is only visible on the lower time frame. So this could be a one that you might want to pay attention to here. So we could be having this one being a leading diagonal, rather, this being your wave 1, a wave 2 here, a 3, a 4, or 5. If that's the case, 3-wave pullback here that we're seeing against this swing low here, then you can look for that buying to the upside on CADCHF. Right, as for the commodities, gold, it keeps on extending to the upside, even though we wanted to see a 3-wave pullback here, but what would very likely that we are having this one to be building a next 5-wave move to the upside that might have completed this wave 1 here. Just to be specific, what I'm referring to wave 2 here. So we could have this one with a different degree here, this being a leading diagonal here that has completed this wave 1 here, this being wave 2 here, and we could be in this wave 3. A 3-wave pullback could be our wave 4, then we see a leg to the upside to be our wave 5. Initially, I've always wanted to see this one from around these levels here, that it should at least be giving us a 3-wave pullback, but it kept on making a move to the upside. So we could be having this nesting taking place here. 3-wave pullback on gold, you can look for those buying opportunities. I don't see that bigger pullback coming in any more. Right, so as for silver here, Silver, on the other hand, this has been trading higher here, just like on the gold. I was expecting that this was going to pull back as well, but a break of this here, very likely that we are having this one to be our wave one from these lows here. This being our wave one, our wave two here, and then this to be building up this nest, being our wave one, our wave two, three here. This might have just completed wave 4 here, and then this must be a wave 5 before we can expect to see that they will pull back in a wave 4 and a continuation. This being your wave 1, your wave 2 here, wave 3, this to be our wave 4, and then this to be our wave 5. Then from there, we might be seeing a little bit of a correction here. But other than that, in terms of a structure, if you zoom into this here, this looks like we are going to see a new high here. Like I've said it, that I've been looking at this here to be a possible structure that has built up this wave 4 here, this being a move here to the downside, a WXY, and very likely that this might be done or this has completed here, this being our wave 1 here, our wave 2, and we already did 3 and 4, and this wave 5 to the upside on silver. Right, as for platinum, we have been looking at this one that it should give us a pullback. In fact, we have been looking for this pullback on this instrument, but very likely that this might have not been the case here that we will see here. This should have been a wave 4 here, wave 5. So I have been expecting that we should be seeing this through a pullback. Obviously, it will be nice if we see this here, but the indicator is not showing us any reversal anytime soon here. So that will mean we are very likely that we'll see this one be continuing with that move to the upside, especially that gold has been leading for a move to the upside. So do expect that platinum and silver might not be giving us those deeper correction. Instead, they might be continuing with the move to the upside here. As for Brent crude oil, we have been showing you this last year that we have been looking at this from these highs here, that this should continue with the move to the downside here. This should have been a 5-wave move to the downside here that we have been looking at, wave 1. Now, I should have shown you this. Yeah, let me see if I can quickly show you this. Okay, so we should just go inside the members area here. This is a trade setup that we had here on the Brent crude oil during the break time that we had, but we have been scanning these here. So this is what we have been expecting, that this was going to give us a 3-wave move pullback into this blue box. Let me just try and open this here. So we have been looking at this over the break period that we had, that this was going to be a 3-wave moves here into the blue box, and we expected that this was going to drop lower here. Now, if you look at this is exactly what we had here. It went exactly into the blue box, 3-wave. Sorry about that. We've looked at this here to be a 3-wave move. It went into the blue box and then it started to give us this impulsively move here. Obviously, the expectation was for this one to be a 3-wave pullback and a move lower, but then this looks like that impulsively move. It was not a standalone move here. This might have been part of this structure here. So the structure here might slightly change. We might be having this one to have been a 3-wave move up here. Obviously, this being an expanding flat corrective structure here, and then this is giving us a move to the upside. If that's the case, expect to see this high being taken here, and then a 3-wave pullback, and then we might be seeing this one more leg. Then we have this here as a W here, our wave X, this to be our wave Y, obviously against this swing high here. Then I'm going to be expecting that Brent crude oil would still eventually give us that move to that down side. Just to show you again here in terms of a structure against this swing high here, we are expecting that this might be a 3-wave move up here, 3-wave move to a downside. We might be getting this 3-wave move up here, this being a WXY. Then we still see that bearish move to the downside. I don't see yet any sign that this is going to be strong for a move to the upside. As for natural gas, we had a look at this one here, but it has just interested my eyes here. What we are very likely to see from these highs is this to have been a 5-wave move to the downside here, this being a 5-wave move here, wave 8 3-wave move pull back here. So we are very likely that this is going to be a 3 here, obviously a 4 and a wave 5. Then from there, that's when we might be looking for the bigger move to the upside, this being your ABC here. Then from there, that's when you can expect to see the big move to the upside on natural gas. As for the indices here, And NASDAQ, we have been looking at this one that it should be giving us a move to the upside, to the downside here. So I have been looking at this. I'm gonna be looking at a few of these here, but I wanted to show you this on the NASDAQ. We have been looking at this here to be a three-wave move, a move to the upside, three-wave move lower here, and then this to be giving us an 11 swing here. This being our W here, wave X, wave Y, connector X here, and we've been looking for this three-wave move to be waves, and then from there, that's when you're going to be expecting to see a move to the upside. But then if you look at the indices right now, they are showing some sign that these lows that we are looking for, very likely that we might be seeing this one to be giving us a new high. If you take this high here, as much as the structure is not clear on this one here, but I'm going to show you on the other indices that this might be starting to give us a move to the upside. Starting from a Dow Jones, there was that possibility again here that as much as we have been looking at this one to drop lower here. Now remember that the initial structure here has been that this is a three-wave move to the downside, a three-wave move up here with an expanding failed corrective structure, and we have been expecting that this was going to drop lower in a three-wave move that is related to this one. This being your W here, your wave X, and this to be a wave Y before we see a move to the upside. But again, we've always had this here as an alternative view that instead of this here being a WXY, we could be having this one here to be now wave 1 here, a leading diagonal, our wave 2, a 3 here, a 4, and this to be a wave 5. If that's the case, this being our wave A here, a 3-wave move pullback, this being our wave B, and then we're having this impulsively move here to be our wave C terminating at the 0.618 rather than going to the equal leg. If that's the case, that might mean this might be a wave 1 here, a 2, a 3 here, and then this being our wave 4, and then we might be seeing this new high here. If that does happen, we see that move to the upside, we need to start to look at the possibility that the indices have bottom, and this might be building our wave 1 here, a 3-wave pullback, then we might be looking for this buying opportunity to the upper side. And that will be the same as well with the S&P 500 instead of this one, because we wanted to see this one here trading lower. Remember that we have been looking at this here to be our W here, our wave X here. We wanted to see this 3-wave move to our downside to be our wave Y. This being your W here, your wave X to be our wave Y, and then a move to the upside. But now this again could have been our wave 1A here is a leading diagonal, a 1, 2, a 3, 4, wave 5 A here. This being our wave B, and this to have been our wave C here. Now this could be a move to the upside here. So again, this could be our wave 1, a 2, a 3 here. This being our wave 4, and then this becomes your wave 5. If that does happen, expect it through a pullback, and then you could see a continuation move to the upside on S&P 500. Right. As for DAX, when we were somewhere around this area here, we were expecting that this was going to drop here, but instead we saw this move to a downside. We saw this move up here. So that's why I'm expecting that the other indices like Dow Jones, S&P 500, they might be giving us this move that is similar to DAX here. Now, the big question is this been a wave A here, wave B, this being a diagonal here? Remember, we had this view in the members area that this could be an expanding ending diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, this being a wave B here, and this to have been a wave C. Now, this could just be a standalone move here, 5-wave move. If that's the case, a 3-wave move pullback should be seen here. Then from there, we're going to be expecting that DAX is going to give us that bullish move to the upper side. Right, nothing much about UK 100 from last year. We have been talking about this year. We were somewhere around this area here. I remember very well that we were building this structure here. Even when we were around this area here, we expected a leg higher and a leg lower, and this was the expectation. You can refer back to our videos there under the time stamp. So we have been looking at this here to be a 5-wave move to the upside that is done here. This being our wave 1, wave 2 here. Now we are looking at this to be in that wave 3. So that's why I'm expecting that the other indices might also be starting to give us that move to the upper side. As for Nikkei, we are still in this correction here. So we have been building this structure here. We have been talking about this, a 3-wave move to our downside here, and then this being a 3-wave move up. So the expectation is this to complete this 3-wave move, but I've amended this here. I've looked at this here to have been wave 4 here, this being wave 5, and looking at this correction to have started from this here, 3-wave move, a 3-wave move down here. Now the expectation that we see this 3-wave move at least for this year to be our W here, wave X here, and then this to be wave Y. Once that is done, then we're going to be looking for that bullish move to the upside on Nikkei. As for Nifty, we're looking at this one here to have already done a 5-wave move to the upside, and the expectation is to see this one correcting in a 3-wave moves a year. 5-wave move to the upside that we are seeing here is to have been a wave 4 and wave 5. So we are expecting to see this one giving us this 3-wave pullback. If we do get that, obviously against this swing low, then we're going to be looking for Nifty to be continuing with that bullish move to the upside. All right, so let's have a quick one on the cryptocurrencies here. We have been looking at Bitcoin to trade lower. Now, the big question is Bitcoin done to the downside? Are we starting to see a move to the upside? Yeah, I must say this here, as much as we wanted to see a move to the downside, but after this, yeah, I'm gonna show you, especially on the weekly time frame, this weekly range here, it is a big range. It's not a range that we can ignore here. But then we have been looking at this. Remember, this to have been an ABC from these highs here. Now the big question is our wave 4 done? Is our wave 4 yet to be done here? If that's the case, that will mean we might be having a 3-wave move here, a 3-wave move to our downside, and this might be coming up in a 3-wave move here, and then we're gonna be having this here as the structure here, something like this here, and then we see this one more leg before a move to the upside. Yeah, but that does not mean that we should be ignoring that, because we have that as we should be ignoring the idea that this has bottom here, then we should be starting to see a move to the upside. It is still very possible that is the case. It's just that around these lows here, if this has really ended, I wanted to see this year to be an ending diagonal year. Now this just looks like a 3-wave moves here. That's why I'm not yet convinced. Had this been the case here, an ending diagonal structure like this, then I will say that it's time for this year to make a move to the upside here. Now gold here, it bottom in what most of the people, they will call a double top or a double bottom. Now if this is the case here, we should be looking at this on a Bitcoin. I want to show you this on the 1-hourly time frame, because I think let me show you this again on a 4-hourly time frame. The structure that you should not ignore here, we could be having this one to be a 3-wave move. This being a 3-wave move, I'm just waiting for the data to load here. A 3-wave move to the upside that we are seeing here, and this to be a 3-wave moves again. A 3-wave move to the upside, this being a 3-wave move to the downside here, and then we expect to see this might trade higher here. It could be a 5-wave move, this being your 1 here, your 2, your 3 here, and then this being your wave 4, then you have your wave 5 here, then you have this to be an expanding flat corrective structure, and 335, and then this drops lower. That is still a structural possible, but then again, let's look at the possibility. What if this has already bottom? Then this is what we should be looking at here. Looking at this one to be a possible in our wave 3 here. We have been looking at this to have been our ABC here. This being our wave A as a leading diagonal here. This being our 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 here, wave A. But again, this could be our wave 1. This could have been our wave B here. But again, this could have been our wave 2 here. That will mean we are in the wave 3 here. Now, if this does happen here, 3-year clear 3-wave pullback here, that is clear, then we can look at this to be our wave 1 here, our wave 2, this being our wave 3 here, that was made a peak. That's if we do get this one to pull back, then we can look at this to be our wave 4. Obviously, per the ELLIOTTWAVE rules here, this should not come to this territory of a wave 1 here, and then from there we're going to be looking for that one to make that move to the upside. So please do not feel like you've left here. If this has bottom, you still does have an opportunity that you can still trade this move to the upside on a Bitcoin. Just a quick something that I was looking at here on a weekly time frame, that we could be having this one here to be a structure like this, a move to the downside. Obviously this is small in range here, move to a downside, shoulder here, head here, this give us this here, come around this high through a pullback here, and then we see this move here. If that's the case, you could be having this head and shoulder pattern that is just still in the formation. If there is bottom, you're also gonna have that one to be a structure that you can look at as well on Bitcoin. All right, as for Ethereum, obviously the two instruments are positively correlated, so you would be expecting that this might be done here. I remember now last year there was that possibility that this might have been a wave 1 here. If that's the case, that means this would be a wave 2 here, and we are having this one to be a 1 2. We get a 3 and a 4 here, and a wave 5 that will be completing the wave 1 in a bigger degree, this being a wave 1 here, this being a wave 2, and then obviously we get this one to be a wave 1 here, and then a wave 2. That's why I'm saying that you might not be left behind. If this is bottom, you're still going to be able to catch up on this, but you got to be careful. I'll still love to see these cryptocurrencies to be giving us one more leg to the down side before we can see those big move to the upside. So you got to be careful with these ones there. They might just be in their corrective structures. It's just that the corrective structures might be a bit big here. It might be something like this here. We get this one to be an ABC here, coming the equal legs. Then from there, we start to see this drop to the downside on Ethereum. Obviously, Litecoin, we are expecting this one here to drop as well here. So this could have just been a structure here from this being a WXY structure here, 3-wave move to the upside, our connector here, and then this to be completing this 3-wave move to the upside, WXY. Then from there, we start to see this bearish move to the downside. If it extends higher here, then we might have to start to look at the possibility of the buying opportunities. 3-wave pullback then could be giving us a move to the upside here. And lastly, that would be a Ripple. As it stands here, Ripple, it does look like it is going to trade lower here. I'm going to show you just this one here. On the 1 hourly time frame, I have been looking at this. If this gets broken here, then we are going to start to look at the possibility that this is going to trade lower. So we have been looking at this here to have been a leading diagonal. It might not be a clear here, but this to be a diagonal here, and we have been looking at this to be a 3-wave pullback around the area of a blue box, and expecting that this is going to trade lower. So be careful with what you are seeing on a Bitcoin and Ethereum. Look at this, you're starting to see a reaction around the blue box. If this drop here, very likely Bitcoin, Ethereum, but it might also start to give us that drop to the downside. One more leg lower is what I wanted to see here before we can even talk about that bullish move to the upside on a Ripple. Right, guys, from our side, that's all what we wanted to share with you. If you like our content, please press that like button, and also make sure that you press that ring button so that every time when we release a video, you are notified. Cheers, everybody, and have a good one. Trade safe and responsible. Bye-bye.